match. And they're really mad, and I thought, well, that's appropriate. I'm probably gonna find a fan anyway. Might as well cut out the middle.
Yeah. I made the mistake, Mary, of paying quarterly payments one time, mine and mom's together in the same envelope with two different deals, and you know they credited it all to either me or her, one of the
They can
two.
get
We
it.
fought
Then you had one in the rear.
for 6 months and never did get it resolved. Finally just thought it ain't worth it.
I generally pay mine on the end of January.
Those were good
A lot of
days.
times I wanna move it over into the next year.
I've been there a few times myself.
That's pretty cool.
They do the same thing. I just like to get it organized and see where I am, see what's coming.
Never too early for pancake ticket announcements.
Are you hiding behind boxes over there today? Are you expecting somebody in the audience throwing
I
something?
wonder how old these are.
Probably good, they might be more than 20 years. They might be 25, 30 years.
Oh, really?
We said 20, but I'm 25 maybe.
I was trying to remember.
Probably so.
Maybe pushing 30. 25 anyway.
No, that's ticket 25.
Did you offer them to the sheriff?
What's that, pancake tickets?
No,
Got your tickets here to
Funland tickets.
Funland.
Tell
Funland.
you what,
Oh, gosh,
I know that place in my sleep.
I do too.
Yep,
Those are pretty old.
Where did you
That's
find
pretty cool.
Funland tickets?
I'm keeping one of them.
HR had them give out.
Really?
It goes with the amount.
Picnic?
Little late.
Oh, you remember that meeting?
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
Funland on Southwest Parkway where the fire station
It was
is.
May of
Wichita County
2000, so that's
picnic
not
at
too bad.
Funland.
I didn't even know it's still there in
I didn't
2000.
either. I didn't know it was still there in 2000.
That's why towards the very end of it.
Oh, it
I
is,
would
May, yeah,
imagine.
it says 2000 on it. The
Does it?
date's on it, yep. May 20th, 2000.
You got that, you got the employee of the month.
Yeah,
Okay.
here you go.
All right, we ready? Good morning, it's 10:03. We'll call this meeting of Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. Everyone please rise. This time I'd like to call on Commissioner Muller to give the invocation.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today to celebrate your grace upon each and every one of us, allowing us to live in this great nation, to have the freedoms that we sometimes take for granted, but we still enjoy. Lord, we just ask that you would bless our county family. We have people that are hurting, that are ill, and we'd like for you to lay your hands on them and their families and make it better, Lord. We know you're the great physician, and we know you're capable of doing that. Lord, we'd ask that you'd look after our first responders, our deputies, our ambulance attendants, our doctors, nurses, those people that go into places of danger to make sure that we're all safe. We'd ask you to go with them, Lord, and be with them and bless them and their families. We thank you for our United States military and the great job that they do, and certainly the veterans that have served, sometimes in very dire circumstances, to make sure that the Stars and Stripes will wave. Lord, we just ask that you'd be with us today as we make decisions that affect this county. Go with us, bless us with understanding and with wisdom, and in the victory, we'll be sure and give you the glory. These things we ask in the name of your precious Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner. Y'all join me in the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Take your seats, please. At this time, I'd like to take care of a presentation that we've been wanting to make for a while, and Lieutenant Bonin hasn't been available. Sheriff, would you come up here, Lieutenant, please? Chief, you're welcome. You're going to be the photographer.
You just figured that out, need a Crimson.
Gerald, you and I have known each other over years. We started here fairly close to the same amount of time. And I've always found it very pleasurable to work with you. And Even found you on a Saturday, and we were cleaning out the Luby's place and doing that. But Sheriff Duke's probably got a few more things he can say about what you have contributed to Wichita County with your time.
Well, thank you, Judge. I would like to say publicly, for one, Darrell Bonham has been a career correction officer for Wichita County. A lot of people don't understand what that means, but working for Wichita County and the jail system we have, and a lot of conditions that we've had, good and the bad, Darrell has always been a major part of that, helping rectify a lot of the problems and policies, and been able to be just lend a good hand and an ear just in these new kids that are coming up, leading in the right directions. And he was the first of our supervisors that was over our, what we call our CERT team, when we first created that, for a response team to go inside these cells, up to the annex, and we all know how it's laid out, where there's no control of the inmates, but the inmates learned respect pretty quick when these guys were coming in there, that there was gonna be other consequences to their actions. So we could take care of the inmate that was either assaulted or had to be removed from there. Darrell, once again, your career alone and coming back and do what you've been doing, not only with the grievance policies, a lot of people understand how it works in the jail. Inmates surprised, they'll write grievances, complaints about things that happen in the jail. We have to answer those by law and give them a certain time. And you know, most jail staff don't have time to do that, so Darrell was part of that part-time, had come in and take care of the grievances. And just the fact that all the things you've done, it's just been an unbelievable asset in Wichita County. I don't think that people realize the impact that you've done in the jail to where we're at now. And we appreciate your service and your friendship. When Darrell always comes to see me as sheriff, there was an issue that he wanted to make sure I was aware of. We're suggesting of changing some things, and we worked it down pretty well. And I really appreciate your service and all that to the military. You know, we've come to be good friends over the years. I know he's in depth of his military, the things he went through. And it's a blessing that it's a miracle he's standing here. Some of the stories, if you've heard of it. I tell you, people can have a 500-pounder or whatever size of bomb that can land on top of you, and you walk, well, get over it, you know, 2 minutes. 14 months later, but appreciate your service and everything.
Darrell, you and I talked today about your wanting to make it 25 years with this county. I asked our HR director, Tanya, to go through and look at your record and pull that up. And, you know, you got, your military service came into that counts as credit. And going through that, we hit that and then some. So I want to present you this watch.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. You know, I have traveled the world, and as a young man, some of the places I have been to, I thought that I had the privilege of working with some of the finest people I would ever meet in my lifetime. Never did I ever believe that I would come home to a career and find that same level of friendship and camaraderie that you seek when you first get out of military. It took me 8 years from the time I got out of the military to find a job here at Wichita County. Find a home here, actually. Some of the people that I work with have become a pivotal part of my life, and I'm not talking about just the sheriff's office. I've dealt with virtually every office in the county at one point in time or another, and have enjoyed every single person that I have worked with. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve all of you, so I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Go ahead and open it, Sheriff. Want to be sure she didn't pick up the empty box, too.
We've got Funland tickets for you.
Yay!
But you better hurry, yeah.
Yay! Good job, Darrell.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
At this this point, I'd like to move us into the public comment section. It is 10:11. Anyone in here or on the calling phone wish to have anything to address the court with? Okay, hearing none, it's still 10:11, and I will close the public comment session. Although I want people to realize we ask for comments on the agenda items as we go through also, but if someone has something that wasn't on there, that's what the purpose of that is, to have it right up top. Okay, I'd ask the court to take action on the consent agenda.
Item 8, we can go ahead and approve it, but I want to hold that for payment pending final inspection, which should occur either this week or early next week.
Do you want the treasurer's office then to give that to you to hold on to until,
That would be fine.
Karen, can you take care of that, please?
Or just don't send it out until you approve, until you
Yeah.
hear from me.
Then just, Karen, just hold it there until Commissioner Beecham. Thank you.
Item 13, just a comment, that does close out the project. That pays the final payment to Yates Litteken, and we had our closeout meeting last week. So LEC, once we pay that bill, is officially complete.
Well, I just want to, while the sheriff and I both have some to do with that, you and Chief Rutledge really carried us all the way through that project. You guys put in a lot of time, thought, and hours. Captain Patterson contributed to that also, but I'd really say the yeoman's effort was you two, and we do appreciate
Will,
it.
in particular, Will did it.
Will, if he could turn it off his steps, county health, he could blow everybody away.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
By 10 o'clock in the morning, he's already got 8,000 in.
Just one trip down the hallway, so.
Well, you know what, Polly, you could maybe sign on work in jail, and you could show them how to walk. Yep. All right, anything else on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve with the changes noted.
Okay, anyone in the audience have any comments on the consent agenda? Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Muller, seconded by Commissioner Fincannon to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, we're in general business. Item number 1 is review and approve the regular bills for payment. Order the county treasurer to disperse payroll and bill payments within 72 hours unless directed otherwise.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second. We can hold back on the fun land. And the fun land, those are a little stale.
Okay, you might take them down to Six Flags, see if they'll honor them down there.
Probably would be.
Yeah, okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Muller to approve the bills and distribution of the payment. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 2 is open and take necessary action on proposals for the medical, dental, and mental health services for inmate detainees of Wichita County. Rather than try to risk slicing the risk, if it says who those are, Nancy, just read those for the record and we'll take them under advisement.
Okay. The first one is from Southern Health Partners. The next one is from Core Health.
Okay.
This one is from Turnkey Health Clinics.
Trinity?
Turnkey.
Turnkey, okay. I think I heard that right.
And the fourth one is from WellPath, and that's all.
Is WellPath our current?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we need a motion?
Yes, sir, we do. So let me give you, so we're gonna have these, there is a committee that's been set aside to score and evaluate these and to have any interviews as necessary with each company. If they interview one, they'll interview all of them. But that's gonna take a couple of weeks to get that done, but we wanna come back. And then later in the agenda, we have two consultants that we've been given their names by the Texas Commission on Jail Standards. And if you all approve that, then they will be involved in that. Now, Commissioner, go ahead and please make.
Yeah, I'd make the motion to take those under advisement.
Second.
Any other comments from anyone about those?
Judge, would you help
Yes.
me on the well path? I confused that with the Southwest. Did they purchase that company? How did they weren't well path when we.
No, and they still are. Half of their stuff comes to us at Southwest Medical Group and same president. So there is ownership involved there. Then I think Southwest Medical Group actually owns the name WellPath and
Okay.
the operation.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Watts to take the bids under advisement and turn those over to the scoring committee, which is not comprised of any member of the Commissioners Court. It's comprised of Sheriff's Department staff, Ms. Jennings, I think is on there, and Auditor's Office is on there also. So, okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, item 3 is canvass and take necessary action on the election results of the November 2nd, 2021 constitutional amendment election. You were sent those by email to be able to review those. It's a 140-page document, so we chose not to print them out. Ms. Bohan?
If I have any other questions. Those are pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Real straight.
We're there, just remember a overvote is where someone didn't vote on that race or that proposition or that person. An overvote is only on paper, through the mail, where they marked
Both.
both things.
Yeah. Thank you for all y'all's effort on that. As usual, we've been through and went fine. We'll have a new mountain to climb and get the new equipment prior to the next election, which I think will be our goal to do that.
Yes.
Just along those lines, we will have a work session on Friday to look at the two proposals we have received. That'll be at 10 o'clock, and we look to take action the following Monday. This is done so we can get our order in, get the equipment in hand, and train on it before next March.
Motion to accept the canvass and the results of the election.
Second.
Any comments or questions, anyone in the audience or on the call-in line? Okay. Motion by Commissioner Muller, seconded by Commissioner Fincannon to accept the results of the November 2nd, 2021 constitutional amendment election. In favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. Item 4 is to receive a presentation of the County Veteran Service Office on participation in the VA Southern Texas Veterans VEAC, November 16th through 18th, 2021. Tim Murdoch is our Senior Veteran Service Officer and was selected to participate in this, and I'm going to let him explain what he's doing because it sounds like a really neat program to me.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to give you a broad overview of what it is we're doing because it's a privilege for us to be asked to participate in this event. As you can see, I'll refer to the slides. It's a virtual Veterans Experience Action Center. Bottom line, it's an opportunity to reach out to a lot of veterans in the state of Texas who, for whatever reason, cannot come into an office and get help. Right now, it's a Southern Texas focus, which I'll show you in another slide. But that's basically the event. It's important to us because there was only 2 veteran service offices in the state, us and Bear County, that were asked to participate. So it's a token of a privilege for us to do that, and it shows that, you know, we are able to do that and help out statewide. So I'm gonna just flip down to another slide, to number 4. See this, here we go. This is the target area, which is South Texas. They do these periodically throughout the year, so there may be a day when our area is a target area. But the target area right now is for these veterans and family members. For whatever reason, they're isolated and they can't go into a veteran service office, and they receive assistance. Well, whether it's a claims update, they request assistance on something they have at the Board of Veterans Appeals. Regardless of what it is, even if it's community support, we're going to try to help them. I am one of 25 claims benefit advisors participating. It's 16, 17, 18. So basically, I will have 10 individuals a day that I'll reach out to on the phone and try to help them over the phone if I can, resolve their issue. If not, I'll transfer them to a different organization that help them. Let me just go down again to slide 6. Not too far. So this slide just shows you all of the organizations that are participating. You can see from the left, the Texas Veterans Commission, as well as the Veteran Service Officers, all the way to the VA, the Veterans Benefits Administration, Health Administration, Board of Veterans Appeals, the cemetery, maybe they're trying to get a headstone and they run into problems, we can help them with that, all the way over to community support. Now for me, I'm not going to help a whole lot for community support because I'm not familiar with all of their areas as I am here. But if I can, and if I can Google an organization that'll help them, then I'll give them that information over the phone. That's sort of the general idea of what we're doing. That's all I have, just to give you a broad overview of what we're doing. I think it's a really good thing for us to help veterans statewide because normally only here. It'll be done from the office, from my desk. When I have an opportunity, I'll call an individual and try to help them over the phone, and that's what we're doing. So it's a real good thing for us, and it's good. We've been training for, if you look through these slides, 6 weeks or so, and I looked at it as an opportunity to get additional training, so it was a good thing for me as well.
Our veterans, no matter where they're at, they all served us.
Yeah, sure, and that's why we're open to help them. I don't care where they live, and what they do.
Yeah.
If I can help somebody, we'll certainly do that. So it's a good opportunity for us to do that.
Thank you for the work you do. I'm going to
Of
say
course.
this for the record. We receive more volume of email on how excellent your office is run.
I concur to that
It
point.
is-
I was just thinking that.
It's unbelievable the amount of positive email we get on your office.
Well, we
So-
can't make everybody happy. Judge
No,
gets-
but-
Judge gets those emails. We're trying.
But-
We're actually trying.
No, thank you for the work you do. Our veterans definitely need to be taken care of. They need to be our highest priority
Right.
to take care of those that took care of us, and we certainly appreciate the effort that you do.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And
Tim,
unless
do
you have
you-
any questions,
Do you have any feeling what, in our region, how many people are out there that this would, if this moves to our area? Any feel for the volume that might be out there that just can't come to the office or?
Sure. Well, I see them a lot the more east you go, because like in Vernon, they have a part-time veteran service officer who can only answer questions. He really doesn't have the ability to do what we do in our office. He don't have the access to the systems that we have access. So in Iowa Park and Vernon, that's where I would see a volume. I don't know how many, but in this instance and that example, to help somebody for Vernon or Iowa Park without making them drive all the way to our office, that's what we would want to do.
But they're out there.
They are, yes, sir. And we see them. This is just a focus in this area at this time, but they've done this in other areas, and in the future they will too. And maybe someday it'll come to our area where we can focus on veterans and family members.
Who picks the area?
The Texas Veterans Commission, in coordination with the VA, plans these and coordinates them. We don't, of course.
Of course, that's, maybe we could encourage them to,
I can definitely throw that out there. And
Come
ask
to our-
if we can do something like this in
yeah.
our area as well.
And it wouldn't hurt to have you trained and ready to help, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I'm good to go.
You know, one area is maybe something like this, there's a veteran that you tried, I've tried, Tim's
Yeah.
tried, Vietnam vet that we cannot get to come in.
And we've done that.
And-
We've experienced that, yeah.
And, you know, maybe something like this, if you
Yeah.
were able to call in and talk, I mean, we've offered to go to his home, I don't know what else we can do. And it's unfortunate that he won't take advantage of what is there, not only for him, but should he pass away anytime soon, it could benefit his wife. And I think that's often what happens, veterans, you get out and you go away, you start a new life, and you don't always bring your spouse into the fact that there are these things that would be there in the case of that person's demise,
Right.
and do that, so. But the other thing I want to say is echo what Commissioner Beecham said, but also, you said it was an honor for you all to be picked. That is also a recognition of what you have done, Tim, to bring that office up to the standards it needs to be able to work electronically, do away with paper records, be on there and make an instantaneous filing of claims instead of it having to plug along through either being faxed or mailed. So thank you very much for the leadership you've shown, you and Tim.
Well, I do that with this support, so
Yeah.
it's, everybody's involved.
But thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time to come over today.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate you.
Speak out.
Okay.
Back to work.
Item 5 is to discuss, consider take action to approve the purchase of 2 Cisco Catalyst C8200 routers from SHI in the amount of $23,743.42 with $11,871.71 paid from 104-12-5001. Capital expenditures with lines determined by the county auditor and $11,871.71 to be paid by LEC bond funds. One router is to replace the county's existing Cisco 2915 router, and that is an end of life, and one router is to terminate the LEC's AT&T backup internet connection. Mr. Crutchfield?
Yes, sir. Any questions? I guess, because that's pretty much it. We want to maintain the LEC internet backup system, and it's going to need a router as well, and firewalls. The firewalls will be coming.
Okay. And these 2 routers are split in location, one at the LEC and one here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's why we split the prices, because one of them is here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Muller, second by Commissioner Fincannon to approve the item as stated. Any comments, questions from anyone? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, George.
Thank you. Thanks, Joel.
Appreciate it.
Item 6 is discuss, consider, or take action to select jail mental health consulting firm to help select and monitor successful jail services contractor. You all received copies of 2 different requests we had made from the 2 companies represented to us by the Texas Commission on Jail Standards. One of those is a very prestigious group of attorneys, and the other is a company that's been around for a long time, helping with jail. Sheriff Duke introduced us to Mr. Bryant, gosh, when we were looking, probably in 2010, somewhere along there, we were looking. A couple years ago. Yeah, looking at the new jail, and they were willing to consult and give us ideas, but they've looked at a lot of jails. Chief and Captain Patterson and Ms. Jennings and I, and then Sheriff, he joined us partway through that, would recommend Mr. Bryant's company detain to do the work, because if you looked at the information about the 2 people he would assign to it, they have worked in jails, they currently work in jails, they see this, and this is actually kind of what they do within their setup. And so we would recommend them. Down the line, given the credentials of the law firm in their contract work, at the level of writing the contract with a successful proposal, we think we might, eventually want to have that law firm review that. So if you all have questions, let's go, try to answer those.
What's the time frame on this, Joe? I mean, we probably need to get this rolling, do we not?
We need to decide this today,
Yeah.
and we need to get it rolling so that they will participate in the evaluation of the four proposals we received.
Do we have a estimate on what this consultant may cost?
You have it in both those proposals, I would say.
In here, it's saying $4,000 roughly.
Well,
No,
that's
4,000
just-
is a starting fee,
That's just
isn't it?
one
Oh.
phase. Here it is,
Yeah.
Commissioner. It goes from phase one, this is another phase, and then you get into legal review, regulatory evaluation, and all that.
Oh, it's saying excess of 50,000.
So we're looking at possibility of 40.
20,000 for one and 40 for the other.
Yeah, it's about 40 on this one I'm looking at right here, as it goes through the certain
That's
phases.
the law firm one, right?
Yeah, it's up to 3,600 for the first initial, and then you get into review, the deal, it's another 3,600, 18, and then the management legal review and all the regulatory evaluation is the big one, 18 to 32, so
Yeah.
it's a $40,000 deal there. But you get into a bad deal in the jail and a medical deal, Sheriff, as you'll say, 40 won't get you very far.
No.
This is serious business.
I'd like to say, when I came into office, we still had the old way we did medical. We had a hometown doctor and the former sheriff. The nurses couldn't call the doctor, they called the sheriff, and the sheriff would decide whether that guy needed to go to the hospital or not.
Yeah.
That is so absurd, I know, I respect the man, but as of my 6th year in office, he was still finishing up his lawsuits against Wichita County because of medical issues in the jail. So obviously, I wanted to change that right off the bat, and unfortunately, we had an inmate death, sheriff 6 months. And I believe it went pretty decently with the court as far as anything litigation. I don't think we didn't get hit with anything big or anything. However, that's why I wanted to bring some companies in, somebody to start taking the liability and providing proper medical care. These inmates, whether we like them or not, we have to take care of them. We have to treat these people as human beings, and we just got to do that. And not only by law we have to do it, I think just by God's given life and rules to us, we take care of them, we have to. And there's some people in there we're taking care of that if people were able to take them out of the jail and hang them, they would, because of the type of criminal they are, and the crimes they've committed against children and everything. We have to be biased about, not biased about it, but keep our biases out of it and take care of these people. And the jail is the #1 liability in Wichita County, hands down, 1,000%. I don't think anybody can argue about that. And that's where we're at now with the way we hire people to work there. My biggest fear is not, I've said it before, the deputies, in car chases or shootouts. I'm not concerned about the liability on that side of it. It's that 20-year-old to 30-year-old jailer that wants to violate the inmate's civil rights. It does it different ways that we cannot afford. So that's why we're better off now with our jail staff than we probably ever have been. Once again, this is just a serious issue that obviously is being taken. Y'all looking at it and Bill will have these attorneys that come in to check the liabilities of what we're trying to bring in this county that will be able to give proper medical care to these inmates that we can. We've got to do it. And not to mention the mental health factor is 90% of our people have some kind of mental health issue. And most of all is brought on by their lifestyles and things that they've done to themselves, their body, and ingestion of narcotics and things. It all wraps up into a serious issue when it comes time to have a use of force or something goes on in the jail.
Well, this is something I wanted to see done. I think we do an excellent job at law enforcement, an excellent job at what we do, but we're not physicians. We're not. And to have another layer of expertise looking us over, looking over our shoulder and protecting our assets, I think is a good move. I think,
Well, we've made good progress.
Yeah,
We're
we
better
have, we
than
have.
we've been, but that doesn't mean we're
we have,
everywhere we need to be.
but to be diligent to make sure our medical providers are, one, capable, and two, providing the service that we're actually paying for is key. So I'm good with going with the committee's recommendation. Make that motion.
Is there a stat, Will or David, did y'all have what we've had charges for, or what Southwest has paid out for compared to the number of people that involved? Is there any kind of data like that kept?
Maybe on theirs we can address.
Do these other providers get any data from our current provider as to calculating what costs would be?
And Captain Patterson answered questions for several of them, but I don't know what all the questions were. I know they all asked our average population, daily population. That's one of the things that they take into consideration, so.
But they look at what they've done in their other jails they provide the service for, and they look at what our RFP is and what we're including in it. And so they can't, I don't think the current provider has to share with them anything other than we gave the population, we gave the number of pregnancies, we gave some of those kind of things.
Right.
Now, there have been some, years ago, we had a case we settled and we paid our portion of it, and the other was not, we were not privy to the agreement between the provider and the person that sued them. So that happened separate. But one of the things that looks really good in this is we want to come back in 6 months and do this audit and determine. We did that. We had a lady with a very similar background to the one in here, and really did some good work, and we got a sizable credit from Southwest Medical Group at that time. And so that was interesting. That was one of the things that was asked by one of the questions was, had there ever been any claim on those provisions? And if so, how much? Well, that was public information, so we furnished that. But, you know, another neat thing we do in our contracts, this was Judge Kennedy started this idea, is we include what they put in that proposal. You know, usually always says whatever the salesman said doesn't really mean anything. You know, that's in there, and that is the overriding thing, is what's in their proposal. There's a couple of things in the proposed contract. If you select retain, they're minor things we're going to change with them. I feel like they'll do that without any trouble at all. So one of those has what they would bill for travel and that kind of thing. We want them to follow county travel policy, not New York City travel policy.
I think Tracy has something, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think we're kind of getting beyond.
Beyond what we need. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jim blows the whistle at us.
Well, on these, this individual that y'all are talking about here, this is medical / mental, right?
Yes.
And has that capability, I guess, to evaluate?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Judge, I'd like to, if the court were to accept, we pay for that fee through our DCIF funds, because this is a direct impact toward our inmates. And, you know, we need something to really take care of these guys and gals that's in the jail, and, you know, as part of our, we have to do it. We're obligated to do it, by law, we have to do it, or more than we do it. But I think if we can take it.
That's very good, Sheriff. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anybody want to talk about it?
I'm glad you volunteered. It was on my list to ask you.
I think it's a good way of spending that DCI money. It goes directly to their health and well-being.
And it helps protect the taxpayer
It
too,
does.
at the end of the day.
That's, you
Yeah.
know, I pay taxes just like we
Yeah.
rest of us do. I don't want some of these attorneys that circle this courthouse all the time, look for something to fall off the truck and let's go pick it up. I just don't want to. They need to go do something else.
Well, it's just another layer of insurance to make sure we're providing the services that we're supposed to be providing.
Okay. Commissioner Beecham, it sounded like you started a motion.
Yes, I
on that.
did, make the motion to approve the committee's recommendation.
Okay, of detain.
Yes. Retain,
Detain.
detain, retain?
Judge, can we add that,
Oh, payment from, yeah, and add the
Payment from.
one half.
and also add to authorize you to sign the agreement?
Yeah, I'll move all of that.
Subject to contracts.
Correct. That too.
I'll second that, Judge.
You hear Tracy on subject to contract review?
Yeah.
Can you
And
repeat?
this individual is which one are we selecting? The,
Detain is the company that's built by,
Detain.
not Todd Thurston. But I will communicate to them that they weren't, but that we may be interested in the service.
The follow-up deal you were talking about,
Right.
that does look appealing.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I second
You
the
did,
motion.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Mahler to approve the item as stated, along with the 1/2 of the cost will be paid from the DCIF fund from the sheriff, and that the authorized county judge to sign the agreements after review by council. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, item 7 is discuss, consider, take action to purchase the 2021 ED in Etnire 1020 variable chip spreader at the buy board price of $349,500 to be paid from precinct 5 with reimbursements from precincts 1 through 4 from lines determined by the county auditor. Commissioner Watts, I think was.
yes, after we had initially spoke about a $300,000 spreader that was bought out from under us last Tuesday. And this is a little bit more of a spreader. It's a 4-wheel drive unit that is in stock and on the yard, and the reason we were acceptable to that was that the 2-wheel drive unit with cost increases was going to be just over $340,000, the new ones ordered. Unclear about spring delivery, so we thought that we would move towards a 4-wheel drive unit, a little more horsepower, just pulls itself a little bit better, but again, able to spread out 20 foot and do what our old unit could do. And we do want to list for sale online the current spreader that we have, the newer of the two, and move forward with that. And then I did speak to Matt about our healthiness of contributing towards that, and Willie first recommended that, and then Matt concurred also that he thought we were in fine shape to do that. And this gets us away from, hopefully, as many difficulties as we've had over the past 3 years or 4 with the chips spreader that we try to utilize.
This is from Yellow House.
From Yellow House, yes.
And this
Buy
is
board.
a brand new machine. What's the warranty on it?
Brand spanking new machine.
It ought to have a pretty
It's in
lengthy
the-
warranty.
It's in
I didn't
the
see it.
detail there.
Well, just,
We can opt, I haven't given him any, there are some levels of maintenance that they will provide as well. We can select that. I wanted y'all to look at that, give me a recommendation. I'll speak with him tomorrow.
You're talking about the basic or premier or
Yes.
premium plus
Uh-huh.
package? Okay.
Sheriff, we could get you in on this if you,
Yeah, we gotta keep those roads.
high-speed pursuit, you know.
No,
Y'all hit
just-
us up about 2 years ago, about production.
Yeah.
Well, just for everyone's knowledge, we did have a lengthy discussion about this on a recent work session. This is our main piece of equipment that we utilize to chip seal our roads. And we have had nothing but problems that has created extra months, not days, not weeks, but extra months of labor, which at great cost. So
Yeah, at
while
cost.
this sounds like a very high price to pay for a piece of equipment, in my book, it's money well spent and better utilizing our labor and taking care of our business.
The efficiency and the rock utilization will go a long way toward
yeah,
making a
absolutely.
payment on it.
Absolutely.
We wasted a lot of money in rock this
We,
year.
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
I talked to Mickey about that. I was shocked at the usage that we had overall, just because the backup machine that we'll keep in place, it's just get us out of a bind. We don't intend to have to utilize it every day, and that's what we got into, pretty much utilizing it every day. And instead of just helping us get a load of oil off a truck or whatever the case, we had to depend upon it. And it's just, and we can speak a bit later. There are some options maybe we can look at for it that
I'll
would be.
say y'all, might want to dress it up over.
Yeah.
So it is a reliable backup.
Yes.
Yeah, our current
Yeah,
machine stays broke
everything
more
is
than it
fine,
stays
just
working.
the spreader box is.
It's not as efficient. It's just not as efficient as this, it's
Yeah,
just never.
97 model,
Yeah.
and this will replace our 2004,
Okay.
which the 2004 has the obsolete computer. If it was to lay down on us, it becomes a fishing weight, so now's the time to move away from it.
Okay.
But, so that'd be my motion that we move forward with the
I'll
purchase.
second. Happily second this one.
Any comments or questions, anyone in the audience? Okay, motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Beecham, that we purchase the chip spreader as shown in the item. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, no one. Motion carries 5-0.
And you can never have too big an engine.
Yeah. Well, this item will change after today. Receive an update on the courthouse and elevator projects and law enforcement center.
Well, we've already heard the law enforcement center is done. So, well, we have little things, but as far as the contract obligations, everything has been fulfilled. We need a closeout meeting on that this week, so.
I did have a question on that, Mark, on the center. When you turn in between Vernon College and the law enforcement center, there's a tapered cement apron, but the chip sealed road, or the road that goes on back to
We're supposed to take care of that.
Okay.
And
maybe we can fit that in, then reseal, or
Yeah.
I noticed it was pitting out bad.
that was the plan, to put that at the tail end of our chip seal this year, but since we just wrapped up chip seal,
Yeah.
we'll have to do it first thing next year.
Okay,
So
good.
that
That'll be
is.
nice.
Instead of putting that on the project, it was way easier for us to take care of that.
Is there any reason to maybe talk with Vernon about, get an estimate on what it would take to concrete that? And see if they would share in that?
We can.
Do they even utilize that road though? I mean,
They have some parking, not a lot, along that.
Oh, there it is, okay. I didn't
But do
realize.
they not use it to exit through there or not?
No, really, the front, Judge, is the in and
Just
entrance
the
and exit.
driveway, just up to their driveway.
Okay, we're talking about,
I
yes,
think the majority of Vernon students exit the access road and go to Fisher.
you can go to
Yeah.
Fisher and come around, okay,
You see a little bit of traffic down that side of the road, but very little from Vernon.
okay.
What do y'all go in there for?
To go to the annex.
Go to the, But once that's complete, you still have storage back there and different things you'll go that way for.
You take them speed bumps, that'd be great.
Yeah, they're coming out.
Thought about one of them to stop marked over there. I wasn't gonna pass, but just, thought I was gonna look around.
Well, that, between that and the potholes, and
I was mainly watching those,
Yeah. Those work as speed bumps too.
they do, they work really well.
that's your attention.
Particularly when there's 1.5 feet of snow on the ground and you hit one.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Courthouse and elevator.
courthouse elevator, the demolition, obviously we can hear it behind us, it's going well. If you haven't been down in that area,
A large space.
it's a large space. Now that
Very
it's
large.
pretty much cleared out. It's quite large. They're disassembling the old elevator as we speak, and we'll start building the new shaftways around the elevator on short order. We still have to have the buttons moved out before we can start building the walls. So that will take elevator company to come in, TK to come in and move the elevator buttons. Annex, they're putting in the drop ceiling, doing some electrical work, finishing the flooring. Should have, like I said earlier, the elevator final inspection either late this week or early next week.
Really looks good.
So that project, they're doing exterior work this week. The project's nearing the end, so should be wrapped up before the end of the month with this phase of everything at the annex.
And then when is it this week or next they're gonna start the demolition outside and
The concrete,
concrete?
who knows? That's a good question.
We're
We're
still
still
having
waiting
another-
for TxDOT to,
Okay.
I've got calls into TxDOT, have not received a call back. We finally got the city to say, well, it's not in our court, it's in TxDOT's court. Got an email back from TxDOT saying that they did not want the raised curbs because it's a hazard to vehicles, even though they allowed the exact same thing a block away, not even a block away, then the next block on a TxDOT enhancement grant project less than 10 years ago. The exact same thing. So just fighting the bureaucratic red tape
Now,
at this point.
Mark, I've noticed that on those sidewalks that if you look over here at the atrium, some of that faces the courthouse side, there is a curb that's made into the sidewalk. And then there are some curbs, like what we have by the annex, that are separate and apart from the sidewalk. There, there's a seam down them or a seal. Which one will we have? Will we have a straight pour from the curb street up into the sidewalk to the building, or will it be a seamed?
I'm sure it'll be a scene for,
But it'll be dialed into,
Yeah.
hopefully, but, it's not gonna be a monolithic pour, because then if you have something, you have to remove the curb, then you've got a bigger
Okay.
project, so.
so we shall await hearing back from TxDOT. If not, I guess we just put flat sidewalks, but we can't according to city code because we had to put plants back in. We can't put plants in if we don't have a planter box. If we can't have a planter box because TxDOT won't allow a planter box, then we have to put flat concrete, which we can't do, so.
But that's all
We've been only
because of
fighting this since July.
There seems to be
so-
a circle here.
business. That's because Scott is really business 287.
That's
It
right.
is.
That's right.
So we're on this vicious circle right now that's very frustrating.
You put your planter boxes in or on rollers and.
Roll them in.
Well, you got the 4-foot cylinders just a block away, sorry. It's my county phone. That's probably TxDOT.
Okay, anything else? Thanks, sir. At this time, I would ask, we're gonna go into closed session, briefing discussion with Wichita County District Attorney's Office, Mr. Brad Altman of Altman Legal Group regarding the status of cause number 7:17-CV-0073-M Wichita County versus Purdue Pharma LP et al. This meeting is closed pursuant to section 551.071 of Texas Government Code, consultation with attorney.
Thank you.
Proud of you guys. Good job.
10:56.
Are you really officially completely retired?
In about, probably about